Hi, everyone. Happy almost New Year. If you are new here, and even if you're not, my name is Lacey Jane. This is Criminally Confident, and it is New Year's Eve. Heck yeah. And if you couldn't tell, I am getting my glam on for you guys. Well, that's the intent, but the only thing with these headphones is that I'm not sure if they're gonna be roller confident. Get it? Like criminally confident? But anyways, if you're here, you're either here because I showed up on your algorithm, you're a friend of the channel, so on and so forth. If you are new here, hello. True crime every day, 3:30 p.m. Well, Tuesdays through Fridays. And then I usually do a get ready with me. So if those things interest you, then I hope you will hit the like and subscribe buttons here on your screen. If you didn't notice, we mostly get our comments through the vertical screen, which is like your phone. So for that reason, I try to encourage people to go to the vertical screen view, and I will make sure to pin that comment in the horizontal laptop view of this stream as we move forward. But I appreciate you guys being here. This is the Casey Anthony trial that we've been reviewing, and it's been a journey, and we're so close. We're so close, you guys. I can feel it. And shout out to Maybe. Thank you, Maybe, for posting everything that needs to be posted. Hi, waving back. Awesome if you guys could also share on top of liking and subscribing. Let me go ahead and get this party started. I am only going until somewhere between 6 and 6:30 today. So we are tight for time because my Buckeyes play this evening, and I want to be set for that and not running around. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm trying to figure out which screen to share. Sorry, guys. Okay, what is this? This is one thing is not like the other. You know what? We're going to do this screen. Okay. It took a moment, but I got it figured out. For the next witness or day, I will make sure to use the other stream, which has a bit better resolution. I can't use that right now. Long story. Okay, let's go. Also, I'm going to mute myself while I'm doing my hair. Also, I think something happened right outside of my house. There is nonstop engines. So, I just want to make sure no one is dying. BRB.
They will be received in evidence as states numbered.
Your Honor, may the witness publish those items from his laptop that is hooked to the monitor?
Any objections from the defense?
No, sir, no objections.
He may publish from his laptop those two exhibits.
All right, let's start with the first that you had described, QJ, correct? Which is 279 in evidence. And if, let me,
But that's the ones with the bones located within the diagram.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you, first of all, explain to the members of the jury what they are looking at?
Okay, we're looking at basically an overview of the scene. You can see the roadway here of Suburban Drive. And then within here is the location of the bones. And you can see the red circles are the circled areas. And then all the black marks within there are representing the individual bones.
Is there any way to zoom into the specific location marked with the red circles?
Yes.
Explain that again, if you will.
Okay. So again, these are the circled areas representing the areas where bones were found. And as you can see, some of them are very densely populated, meaning there's a lot of bones within those locations. Specifically, if you look at like areas A, H, and I, there's a lot of bones within there, almost to where it looks like an ink blot. So that's why those areas were circled. So the circled areas in red represent that grouping of those bones.
If you zoom into area A specifically, can you see any of those markings?
Yeah, so you can make out a few of them, but not very many. I mean, really the only one we can really see here is bone 3, 26. And the skull would also be one of those dots there too, because we can see the letter S. But other than that, I'd refer to my report.
You'd have to refer to your report to
Yes.
tell us exactly which bone is where.
Which bone was in which circled area, yes.
If we could just go back out to the unzoomed. Did the system that you utilized enable you to give us the distance from the edge of Suburban Drive to area A?
Yes.
Can you tell the members of the jury what that distance is?
It's approximately 19 feet from the edge of Suburban Drive to the center of that area A. I can actually demonstrate it if you would like.
On the,
Yes.
go ahead, with the court's permission.
Right.
First I'll zoom in. So to the center, roughly 18.8 or 19 feet.
All right. Now, your screen displayed 19.0, I believe.
Yes,
What is that representative of?
19 feet.
From what point to what
Oh,
point were you
I'm sorry.
utilizing?
From that point there, which is the south edge of Suburban Drive. So the roadway.
Now, you have another line prior to getting to area A. What is that line representative of?
Kind of represented the brush line, or the area that's kind of maintained by the county where they'll cut the grass and just kind of keep that clear. So that area from that line to the roadway is representing that clear area, and everything else was just kind of free to grow.
And what would the measurement be between the edge of the roadway and the brush line or the tree line?
Okay, let's see. It's approximately 4.9, well, 4.9 or 5 feet, so approximately 5 feet.
All right, if we could publish the other screen, which is now 280 in evidence. Let me clear some of these annotations.
Yeah, so he best described himself as like
And if you
he's
could
kind of
just
like a
zoom into these,
surveyor.
Red circle areas with the one black.
And it
markings.
all has to do with
You have
The
a
scene of
letter and number D1
what's the
indicated
name?
in black near area
where they
A.
found her.
Do you know what
something
that is
drive.
representative of?
Yeah, that represents duct tape. That was the
I'm
code that I
really
gave for any
struggling.
duct tape that was found in the scene was a D. If I
All
can look
right,
at my
bye,
records, I can
Tamara.
specifically
We'll see you
what
in a little bit.
that duct tape was.
Your Honor, may he refresh his recollection as to what D1 was?
You may.
1 second. Let me finish this and I'll be good to go.
Okay, D1 refers to a piece of duct tape with the brand name Hinkle Consumer Adhesives.
Now, you have two other D markings over to the right, D2, D3. Is
Yes.
that duct tape also?
Yes.
Did that have any marking on it to your recollection?
No.
Did you supply photographs and measurements to a surveying company, Allen and Company?
Yes, I did.
Were the photographs supplied and the measurements fair and accurate representations of the scene as you documented it using your total station equipment?
Yes.
We can unpublish this item. In addition to your responsibilities at the scene on Suburban, did you participate in a search warrant at the Anthony residence on December 11th of 2008?
Yes, I did.
Were you the individual who was responsible for collecting items of evidence located at that residence?
Yes, I was.
If I may have AY for identification. Do you see what I'm showing you marked as AY for identification?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize what is depicted through the use of photography?
Yes.
Was this a photograph taken in the evening hours of December 11th of 2008 at the Anthony residence?
Yes.
Does that photograph fairly and accurately depict the condition or the items enclosed within one of the sheds on their property?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would seek to introduce AY for identification into evidence as the state's next numbered exhibit.
No objections.
You received an evidence that states numbered.
And permission to publish?
You may publish.
Look at that skillful work.
May I unpublish at this time?
You may. Members, you had a chance to look at it.
Except for this one. This one kind of sucked.
If I may have AZ for identification.
Okay.
Investigator Murdoch, do you recognize
Much
what
better.
is shown through the use of photography and AZ for identification?
Yes.
Is that the interior of another shed located on the Anthony property as it existed on December 11th of 2008?
Oh.
Yes.
Does that photograph fairly and accurately depict the condition and the items inside that shed?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would seek to introduce AZ for identification into evidence.
No
You know,
objections.
if she
You
could
received
just
an
change her
evidence that
tone a
states
little bit,
number.
like literally her pitch and her tone and
And permission
inflection,
to publish that item as well, Your Honor.
You may
that would be
publish.
great. What in the hell am I doing?
Is there an item in that photograph that was collected?
Oh,
Yes.
Can you circle the item on your telestrator? If I may approach the witness with what has been marked as JV for identification.
all right. That's way
You
too
may-
much work with my hands. Must have gotten really handy with a ruler in high school and fell in love.
Also marked is JW.
That's funny. Haha. Yes. I know a guy who does this for oil fields. He makes a lot of money. Oh, well, hello, Mindy. I haven't even gotten to my makeup yet, so welcome. And Toby, yes, this is whatever stream it needs to be. If it needs to be a pregame, it's a pregame.
Investigator
needs to be
Murdoch, do you
educational.
recognize the item marked JV for identification?
Yes, it
Now
does
we're
appear to
getting
be
to
the
it.
item collected and photographed there.
Please make sure to share and like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Happy New Year's.
What is it?
It is a red metal gas can.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would seek to introduce JV with conditional introduction of JW for identification since it's attached.
No objections.
Okay, they will be received in evidence.
Hello. Welcome. Join
If I
us.
may have BA for identification?
I don't think it was too bad of a job for having not done them in forever. It's gonna be a little bit of a surprise.
Sir, do you
for all of
recognize
us.
what is shown in BA for identification?
Yes.
Let's
Were
see if I
these,
can grab my
is this a variety of stickers
Pepper
that were
spray.
collected at the residence on Hope Spring?
Yes.
Does that photograph fairly and accurately show those?
And we approach.
You may.
I'm just surprising myself. I am really. Woo! It works. Mama got me the big bottle. What are you guys doing for New Year's and this
May
evening?
proceed.
Thank you. Before I attempt to move BA in for identification, if we could switch over to AW. Investigator Murdoch, can you see AW?
Yes.
What is that a photograph of?
Your mom.
Appears to be the bedroom of Casey.
Oh,
Casey
shit. I
Anthony.
wasn't looking.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Is that the condition in which you and other crime scene investigators found it on December 11th of 2008?
I don't recall exactly how that room was that night. I'd have to refer to the photographs that were taken that evening.
May the witness have an opportunity to refresh his recollection with photographs taken during the search warrant on December 11th of 2008.
You may.
Ooh, that sounds
Yes,
fun.
they do. It does appear to be the same
Yeah.
condition.
Okay. May I also show the witness AX for identification?
You may.
Is that another photograph of the same room?
Yes,
Is that the condition in which it was found during the search warrant on December 11th of 2008?
yes.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would seek to introduce AW and AX for identification into evidence.
What says the defense? You may.
Your Honor, we would object as to relevance. It would have been approximately 7 months before since Miss Anthony had lived in that room.
Objection will be overruled, be received in evidence as
Okay, it was time for Flonase. Sorry, guys. Flonase, if you want to sponsor me, what's up?
If we could go back to BA for identification. Investigator Murdoch, can you say that the picture in BA for identification was a picture taken of items that were found in Casey Anthony's room?
I don't believe that photograph was taken on the evening of the 11th.
When was this one taken?
I believe that was taken during the search warrant on December 12th of 2000, or December 20th of 2008.
All right, let me come back to that then.
Poiple.
If I may have BB for identification.
Contact, so I can actually see. What a novel thought.
Do you recognize what is shown in BB?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that to be?
That's a photograph of the bedroom of Kaylee Anthony,
Do you know when that photograph was taken?
the evening of December 11th.
Does that
2008.
photograph fairly and accurately depict the condition of the room belonging to Kaylee Anthony on that date?
Yes.
Now, at this point, I would seek to introduce BB for identification into evidence.
No objections.
be received in evidence, states numbered.
Permission to publish.
You may publish.
May I unpublish at this point?
You may.
That's kind of
I
fun.
may have, I'm sorry. Did you collect items of evidence from that room?
Yes.
If I may show the witness KF and KE for identification?
Oh my God, ma'am, just get to your point. This is why they lost. I'm telling you. It's not because Jose was any good. Period. Charcoal shimmer or onyx glitter? I think onyx glitter.
You may.
Am I gonna be my two colors?
Do you recognize KF? I'm sorry, did I show KE first?
Yes, I do.
That's a nice
The item
mini.
that you are holding, is that KE or KF, since I have
It's
to come to
KE.
here? KE, do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
It is Winnie the Pooh bedding from Kaylee Anthony's bedroom.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce KE for identification into evidence.
Yeah.
Be received in evidence, states number.
You see KF right there next to you?
Yes.
Was that an item collected on that date?
Yes.
And what item is that?
It's also Winnie the Pooh bedding items collected from the guest or office dresser drawer.
Okay, so
Your Honor,
they're
at this point,
matching
I would
up
seek
what
to
they
introduce
found her
AF
with.
For identification into evidence.
Ooh, okay. Found what I was looking for.
It will be received in evidence. It states number.
Noises are done. I'm surprised they let her sit in there during trial. I'm sure she was a mess. She is very talented. We salute, maybe. She is a national treasure. Okay, I'm going to have to show the comments on stage for a moment because I need to make this big so I can see what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Did you collect items from the garage of the Anthony residence on December 11th of 2008?
Yes.
If I may show the witness BD for identification.
Make
Why don't we just get to the point?
Do you recognize what is shown in that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Is that photograph a fair and accurate depiction of the garage of the Anthony residence on December 11th of 2008?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce BD for identification into evidence.
No objections.
be received in evidence. It states number.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
You may.
Trying to see if there's a thing I can use on my station to get the topper. I can pull it out in order to get more product that's on the bottom.
Unpublished.
You may.
Did you take a close-up photograph of items that were on the shelf in that garage?
I didn't personally take the photographs, but close-up items were taken of the items on that shelf, yes.
Did you see the items in the position that they were in, and then you were responsible for the collection
That's
and
correct.
preservation of those items?
That's correct.
If I may show the witness BE for identification.
You may.
Are those, is that photograph taken of items enclosed in bags on the top shelf in the garage?
Yes.
Is that photograph a fair and accurate representation of the condition of those items on December 11th of 2008?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce BE for identification as the state's next numbered exhibit.
I need
No objections.
Be received in evidence. It states numbered.
like a brow,
Permission
Tweezers.
to publish to the jury, Your Honor.
You may publish.
and I can just pull that top thing out and it's incredible. I don't have a pair of tweezers. Hi, Nicole. Welcome.
Ready to unpublish?
Oh, well, bye, Mindy. I hope you have a lovely time. Thanks for dropping by.
Were the items that were in those garbage bags on that shelf removed and photographed?
Yes.
If I may show the witness BF for identification.
Okay, we're going to try
Is that an item that was removed from the garbage bag on the
to
shelf?
not make my
Yes,
eyes
that's correct.
look eyebrows.
Is that
look so
photograph a
ugly.
fair and accurate picture of that item?
Yes.
You guys want to know something wild? Right when I started the stream, remember when I said that there was a bunch of like sirens and stuff going off? Well,
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce BF for identification into evidence.
No objections.
I had the scanner going on
And permission to publish.
at the same time as this stream in my ear. That was fun. But anyways, some lady, some little bitty,
Investigator
flipped her
Murdoch,
car in my
what is
neighborhood.
that item?
It's a canvas type cloth laundry bag with the brand name Whitney Design.
Can't see.
Thank you. If I may have KD for identification.
I didn't use my vision benefits this year. I feel dumb. Oh, 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 oh no. Oh God. Hey guys, make sure to like the stream if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Please. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I see a bunch of new viewers.
Do you recognize the packaging of KD for identification?
Do you take me seriously?
Actually, the only part of the packaging I recognize is the sticker that's on it here, which is produced by our evidence section, which has the tag number and item number of that item that we're looking at in the photograph.
Right. Can you open the item and tell us if the item in the photograph is in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah, one's definitely darker.
Yes.
Okay.
This bag does contain that item.
All right.
We
What
got
packaging is that on?
Gucci, and we got
Yes.
Walmart.
All right. How is it that you recognize that?
I recognize it by the label that I made to depict what was in the item, as well as the evidence tape that's on the back that has my seals.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce KD for identification into evidence.
What says the defense?
No objections, Judge.
Would be you received an evidence that states numbered
Maybe.
Going back within.
Okay.
Did you also
Okay.
collect various garbage bags from the residence?
Yes.
If I may
Happy.
approach the witness with KA, KC,
Casey, get it?
KB, JY, and JX for identification.
I've had this going on normal speed. Oops.
Let's start with KA. Do you recognize KA for identification?
Yes,
I gotta go
recognize
in.
the packaging. It has my seals across.
And did you affix a label to some part of the package that tells you where that item was collected within the residence?
Yes. Well, written on, it looks like the label itself is no longer on here, but written on the bag itself, it does say it was taken from the garage wall.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce KA for identification into evidence.
What says the defense? You may.
It's so highly
Packaging.
pigmented.
The item is, there's a number that I have written on there which corresponds to my property form, which is a black garbage bag.
You received an evidence that states number.
Do you recognize KB for identification?
Yes, I do.
And what is that item?
It's also a black garbage bag,
Where was that collected from?
from the east garage area inside of a suitcase.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would seek to introduce KB for identification into evidence.
What says the defense?
No objections.
You received an evidence that states number.
Do you recognize KC for identification?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a black garbage bag with yellow handles from the north garage inside of the cooler.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce KC for identification into evidence.
No objections.
It will be received an evidence that states number.
Do you have JZ for identification there?
Jay-Z.
No, I don't.
All right. Do you have JY?
Yes.
I need a jacket.
Do you recognize JY?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
It's a black garbage bag with yellow handles from the south garage wall, top shelf.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce JY for identification into evidence.
You may.
Do you have JX for identification?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize that item?
Yes.
And what do you recognize it to be?
For the record, I had no objections to that previously.
Okay.
No.
And the ne-
No objection.
Yeah, no objection.
Are we gonna
Go
do
ahead.
concealer?
It's-
JX?
It is
I
a
don't
black
want to.
garbage bag with yellow handles from the south shed.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce JX for identification into evidence.
There being no objections, it will be received in evidence that states number.
Don't say anything. Can you give me a jacket while you're up? Please.
Do you recognize JZ for identification?
Yes, I do.
And what do you recognize it to be?
Two
I'm
black
bougie
garbage
as
bags
fuck.
with yellow handles from the north garage wall, upper shelf, inside
Out of
the
everything
garage.
I own.
Inside of,
A dog crate.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce JZ for identification into evidence.
No objections.
Sup?
Received in evidence that states number.
May I publish?
Maybe I want it that way.
photograph that is
Just
currently
kidding.
Displayed, which has been introduced as 292 in evidence.
You may.
Okay.
Investigator Murdoch, was that laundry bag that's in 292 in evidence inside one of those plastic garbage bags?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Do you recall, or do the records of the Orange
I
County
am
Sheriff
warm now.
reflect
You gotta admit it.
which of those items in front of you contained that laundry bag?
That was, the laundry bag, actually, the garbage bag that was around the laundry bag was packaged with that laundry bag. So they should be in the same packaging.
Yes, yes. Happy New Year, Lefty. Yes.
I have no other questions of the witness.
Oh. Whoops. Why didn't you guys?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Murdoch.
Afternoon.
Nice to see you.
Ew.
The
I'm
diagram
sorry.
that you showed us earlier, it showed us a piece of the Henkel duct tape outside of area A. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Do you know the measurements between where the skull was found as to how far away that duct tape was?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I could
Is there a way
retrieve it.
Can you? Can you?
Yeah. I could the same way that we just did it earlier.
Okay. With the court's permission, can you go ahead and do that?
Yes?
You don't have to put it on screen. Just
Okay,
go
I
ahead
can
and do it yourself and let us know. Unless it's easy to put it on screen.
I can do it just right here. It's fine. So you said from the skull to the piece of duct tape?
Yes.
Do you work for Center, Lefty? I hear those are
Stand
Yes.
popping off in Minnesota.
You may?
Hard to see, but there's a distance. So it's approximately 6.27 feet.
6 1/4 feet away?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the search warrant, when you went to do the search warrant on your home, you knew you were looking for a special kind of duct tape, correct?
Yes, I knew the brand name that was found on the scene. Yes.
Something distinctive, correct?
Yes.
It's a little different. It's not your average duct tape, which is just plain gray.
I just knew that it had a brand name on it.
And that's what you were looking for.
It was one of the items, yes.
And when you did that, you didn't find it in the garage. You didn't find any duct tape in the garage.
None was located, no.
Did you find an area where there was a lot of tape, other types of duct tape, or other types of electronic tape and things like that?
I don't. Honestly, I do not recall.
Okay. You didn't find it, the Henkel brand, wrapped around any items like wires or anything like that?
No, if we had seen that, it would have been close.
I
You didn't
figured as
find it
much
wrapped
when
around
you
any
said
keys somewhere in the house?
you kind of work.
Okay. And you
And
searched the
based
entire
on
garage,
previous
correct?
conversations, I
searched the entire
figured
garage.
that
I
was
was in charge.
probably where
Well,
you
you were in
worked.
charge of the recovery,
Right. So when items were discovered, they were photographed, and then I would collect them.
and they would call you over because you're.
I went to
I was
Mystic Lake
And
Casino
you even went up to the attic.
I did not.
last time I was up there
Your
for
team
work.
Went into the attic.
Yes.
And searched that area and didn't find anything wrapped up with Henkel duct tape.
No.
You went throughout the house. Your team,
Heavy.
correct?
It's heavy.
And nothing was found in the house. Correct?
With-
as far as the Henkel duct tape.
No, not on the inside of the house that I know of because it was not collected.
Then you went out and by the backyard area.
Yes. We were
Okay, that
searching
was
there.
also searched.
Yes.
Searched around the pool.
Yes.
Searched in the sheds,
That's correct.
and every item was taken out of those sheds, weren't they?
Yes.
And it was thoroughly searched.
To my knowledge, yes.
And there was no Henkel duct tape there, except for the one that you recovered.
But on the gas can?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So after an extensive and exhaustive search, how many people were there searching?
I don't know the exact amount. There were 3 people from the forensics unit there. There were other investigators with our agency as well as FBI there as well. So I would say approximately 10 to 15 people, I would imagine.
So between your agency and the FBI searching the entire Anthony home, this is the only item where you found Henkel brand duct tape,
That's correct.
and it was attached to this gas can.
That's correct.
Can I have photo? Yes. 282. Your Honor, may I show the jury evidence item 282?
Yes, make sure to sub to Lefty and myself. And like our streams, please.
Can you see that, Mr. Murdoch?
Yes.
Can the ladies and gentlemen of the jury see the photo? Now, while you searched for the duct tape, you, of course, all of these items were taken out,
From my knowledge, yes.
including these shovels over here.
Again, my knowledge, they were.
And there were no Henkel duct tape wrapped around the shovels or anything like that.
Not to my knowledge.
And none wrapped around any of the other yard items, like a rake.
Again, not to my knowledge. No.
This weed eater here, nothing was wrapped around that for Henkel duct tape.
Not to my knowledge.
And is that like a saw?
I'm not sure what that item is.
All of this.
Sar.
None of that contained duct tape, Henkel brand duct tape, correct?
Not to my knowledge.
And this lawnmower as well, nothing there.
Correct.
You know if there was a lock on that shed?
Yes, I believe there was.
And how was that open, sir?
Not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. There was people searching, collecting. I mean, I was notified when something was found to be collected. I'm not sure how that was open.
And all of the items that you found were black garbage bags, correct?
All of the
items that you just finished introducing today, with the exception of the blankets and the bedding in the bag, were black.
I look like I'm ready to go steal a bunch of puppies from someone.
I'm assuming that was one of the ones here. If I could refer to, can I refer backward?
I steal your puppies?
Yes, I do have a black garbage bag that was collected from that shed.
Okay. May I unpublish the photograph?
There we go.
So what, as it relates to any duct tape, I know you've already testified, this is the only place you found it in the home. Did you ever find the roll anywhere?
No.
Did you search the vehicles that were in the home?
The vehicles were part of the search, yes.
We should have just done the cross-examination.
A green 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner,
I believe that was the make of the vehicle.
and also a black PT Cruiser.
Yes.
And you didn't find any duct tape in any of those.
Again, I didn't personally search every item in the home. Nothing was brought to my attention that was found in there.
And you would have been notified if that were the case.
That's correct.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
I
gotta take my
pills.
Thank you. Maybe excuse me.
Don't destroy me.
My name is Gerald M. Johnston, Gerald M.
Gerald Jones.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Could you tell us how you are employed?
I am owner of a land surveying firm in Winter Garden, Allen & Company.
In connection with that employment, were you contacted in December of 1998 by the Orange County Sheriff's Office in order to provide a survey and 3D animation of a location off of Suburban Drive?
That's as thrilling as that is.
And measurements supplied to the
No,
firm to
thanks.
accomplish that task.
Excuse me. Let's move on to this. You will give me 1 second and I work it for you. Why is it? Oh.
INE.
Thank you. How are you presently employed?
I work for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
And what is your job with the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
I'm a physical scientist, forensic examiner in the latent print operations unit.
And how long have you been employed in that capacity in that unit?
For 4.5 years.
And what what is your education that led you to that job?
I have a Master's of Science degree in Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, the concentration in Forensic Drug Chemistry from the University of Florida, located in Gainesville, Florida. I have a Bachelor's of Science degree in Microbiology with a minor in Chemistry from the University of Rhode Island, located in Kingston, Rhode Island.
And have you had any training within the FBI that led you to your present position?
Yes. I successfully completed an approximate 18-month training program in the latent print unit at the FBI. During that training program, I learned about the biology of friction-rich skin, how to record known prints, how to properly handle and process evidence for the detection of latent prints, and how to actually conduct comparisons. During my training, I processed hundreds of items of evidence and completed approximately 75,000 comparisons. Towards the end of my training, I worked cases under the supervision of a certified examiner, and upon completion of the training program, I successfully completed the FBI certification exam in the area of friction ridge analysis.
And when did you become, is there a point when you become an examiner that's permitted to do examinations after training is over?
After I was certified in July of 2008. Following that period, I was on what we call a probationary period for 6 months. This is when a supervisor looks over your work for a period of time, and after that 6-month period is completed, you are able to work cases.
Hey guys, if you could like my stream and make sure you are subscribed, that would help me tremendously. Thank you.
Without having someone check over your work completely. However, our work still goes through a technical and administrative review process.
Now, is the period of what you call probation, is that standard for all new examiners?
Yes, it is.
So it's not like a punishment for anything?
No.
Okay. Now, I'll direct your attention to December of 2008 and ask if you had occasion to examine some evidence submitted in the investigation of the death of one Kaylee Marie Anthony.
Yes, I did.
And was that in the form of some duct tape that was reported to you as having been obtained from the remains?
Yes, it was 3 pieces of duct tape.
All right. Let me show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit for identification KN. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Let me show you State's Exhibit KN for identification and ask if you recognize it.
Yes, I do. And I know I do because my initials appear on the white tag on the outer packaging of the bag.
And is this the bag that you were sent which contained the duct tape?
Yes. And again, I know this because my initials appear on one of the seals of me indicating that I sealed this package.
Thank you. This time, Your Honor, I move into evidence State's Exhibit KN for identification.
What says defense?
The package, Your Honor.
You may.
She's a special person.
We received an evidence that states numbered
302.
Now, Ms. Fontaine, when you got this item of evidence, did you have to go any efforts to separate the 3 pieces, or were they already separated?
May I refer to my case notes, please?
You may.
Your Honor, may I refer to my notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Suck up.
Upon initial receipt of the evidence, how I receive evidence is a item of evidence receives a Q if it is a questioned item. Other items receive K if it is a known item. In this case, those 3 pieces of duct tape were received to me as Q items, and I refer to them as Q62, Q63, and Q64.
I'm making a executive decision.
My name is Catherine Tyson. Catherine is spelled with a C, then Tyson is spelled T-H-E-I-S-E-N.
You may proceed, Mr. Ashton.
Thank you. How are you currently employed?
I'm employed as the Chief of the Quality Assurance and Training Unit at the FBI Laboratory in Quantico, Virginia,
And how long have
Okay.
you been employed by the FBI?
for 23 years.
What work did you do while with the FBI laboratory before your current position?
For 6.5 years, I was a research scientist, and in that position, I researched and developed new forensic DNA typing techniques for the FBI laboratory and for other laboratories. Then for 5 years, I was a quality assurance specialist in the FBI laboratory, and I developed our accreditation.
And just to kind of break that down a little bit more,
I thought that. Ooh.
Cynthia Anthony,
All right.
CYNTHIA-ANTHONY.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mrs. Anthony, when you testified last, we had gone up through the time periods involving July of 2008. Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay. When your granddaughter was found on December 11th of 2008, where were you?
We were at the airport in Los Angeles getting ready to board a plane to come home.
So you were not present then when the Orange County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant at your home on that date?
No, ma'am, we were not.
Between the end of July of 2008 and December 11th, had you noticed whether or not any items had been removed or not at the house? Things that normally would have been there that belonged to Kaylee?
From July, July, what date?
Anytime in July of 2008 through December 11th.
July 3rd, I remember Kaylee's teddy bear, Teddy, was missing.
All right. Did Kaylee also have a blanket with Winnie the Pooh on it?
Yes.
Do you recall during that time frame noticing that the blanket was missing?
No, prior to that time frame, it was missing.
All right. When did you notice that the blanket was missing?
I hadn't seen it since the end of May. It had been a while since I'd seen that blanket.
Now, we've seen some video of you and your husband, as well as your son and your daughter, taken in July of 2008. Is the hairstyle that you had in the videos taken when you visited at the jail the same hairstyle that you had had for a significant period of time?
What's a significant period of time?
6 months to a year.
6 months to a year, yes.
Okay. How about the length of your hair over a period of time, a year or more?
My hair grows very fast, so prior to that, my hair was longer.
How long?
She has like a bowl
Well,
cut right
even
now.
in the last several years, my hair's been down here ever since Kaylee's missing. So my hair grows very fast if I don't cut it. I have to cut it every 3 weeks.
And do you do that regularly?
Yes.
Okay. Do you keep it in the approximate style or length that it is currently?
Until recently, I just started wearing my hair like this again for the summer, but all through the winter months, I had grown it out again.
To how long?
It was probably past my shoulders around Christmas time.
Okay. The length of hair that we see in the July and August of 2008 videos, how long was it at that length?
Probably maybe a year and a half. Prior to that, I remember in 2006, my hair was long again. It was as long as yours is.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, has your hair been processed?
Yes.
In what way?
2001, I started, or actually 2002, I actually started putting hair color on. Prior to that, I just used highlights. I just would take strands of my hair and highlight it. I actually was brunette back in 2004.
Okay. As we move from 2004 through 2008,
Said
did you
it like
continue
that's
to
a
either
major
highlight
revelation.
or dye or otherwise process your hair in some fashion?
Yeah, since 2002, I quit highlighting and I just would color my entire hair.
If I may have two in evidence, please.
Oh my God. Wilhelmer.
Oh, ma'am, can you see two in evidence?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish to the jury?
You may.
Do you recognize that to be a photograph of your granddaughter, Kaylee?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any idea when that photograph was taken?
I'm not sure the exact date, but I believe it was early in 2008, like the first couple months of 2008.
Like want to squeeze her. Nom, 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 nom.
Do you see the length of Kaylee's hair in that photograph?
Yes.
As we moved into the spring and early summer of 2008, before June 16th, had her hair grown?
Yes, but I would trim it every couple months. I would trim the ends off just to keep it healthy.
Okay. Aside from trimming her hair, would you subject the child's hair to any sort of processing?
Absolutely not.
Do you have knowledge, permission to
Seven when I
unpublish?
first got my hair colored. Like 5 when I got a perm.
Do you have knowledge as to what processing your daughter Casey had done on her hair in 2008 or earlier?
Casey started doing different things after Kaylee was born. She never really did much with her hair as far as color treatment or anything. But after Kaylee was born, she started cutting it shorter. And once in a while, she'd either highlight it, and occasionally she'd dye it back to its natural color and then let it grow back out.
Okay. And what is your daughter Casey's natural hair color?
It's a brown.
If I may have QQ for identification.
I had a dream last night. I went back to being blonde.
Ma'am, can you see QQ for identification?
Yes.
Do you recognize the individuals in that photograph?
Yes, it's Casey and Kaylee.
Do you know when that photograph was taken approximately?
I believe in the beginning of 2007.
I promise I'm not gonna steal your.
Why do you think that?
Because Casey, her hair was short then, but it's because of Kaylee. Kaylee was a little bit chunkier, and you can definitely tell that she was a lot younger. Plus, I remember the clothing that she wore, and that her hair was a lot shorter and curlier, and her hair was a lot curlier when it was shorter when she was younger.
Your Honor, at this point, I would seek to introduce QQ for identification into evidence.
What says the defense?
No objections.
Be received in evidence, the state's numbered.
Permission to publish the item, Your Honor.
W in the
publish?
chat for maybe. W. Thank you, maybe.
Ma'am, when would Kaylee's second birthday have been?
August 9th of 2007.
Permission to unpublish?
You may.
If I may show the witness page 497 of her deposition.
Oh, that's interesting, maybe. This is my natural hair color right now that I have.
Ma'am, if I could direct your attention to lines 1 through 6.
I don't see it.
Object. I think there's a question pending, and she hasn't asked. This witness has not expressed any inability to recollect.
Heard it?
Your Honor, the witness has given a statement regarding when the picture was taken, and I would like to ask her about a prior statement she made regarding the same issue.
Overrule at this point.
Statement is inconsistent.
Well, she hadn't asked her a question yet. She's just showing us.
Wow.
Ms. Anthony, do you recall making a prior statement in deposition that the photograph was taken around Kaylee's second birthday?
Basis of objection.
It's leading. And this is improper impeachment.
No impeachment yet. Objection overruled. You may continue.
I need a.
Ma'am, do you recall
Did
making
not
a statement that
my
the
back.
photograph was
You
taken
are.
around Kaylee's second birthday?
Yes, I remember making that statement.
Her second birthday being in August of 2007?
Correct, but I don't think that we qualified, months prior or anything.
Okay. What hairstyle has your son Lee had in 2008 and before?
Lee usually keeps his hair short. For the most part, we would shave his head, not bald, but shave it down to just, the smallest cutting on the electric trimmers. And occasionally he would let it grow out, and about every 4 to 6 weeks we cut it, but it would never get more than like an inch long.
Do you know if your son Lee processed his hair in any way?
No, he never has.
Does your mother live in the area?
She lives in Mount Dora.
Do you have knowledge as to whether or not she was ever in the Sunfire?
I believe she was.
When?
Oh.
We've had that car a long time, and I know that both Lee and Casey had driven the car up to visit my mom, and I know that they've taken her places when they were up there.
Right. Prior to June of 2008, When was the last time that you recall your mom was in the Sunfire?
I can't recall a specific date, but I know, that she had been in it before. I mean, George and I drove the car as well. So I know a lot of times we would trade out cars. The kids would trade the Sunfire for my 4Runner if they needed a bigger vehicle. So I would drive that car quite a bit. And I know I drove it up to Mount Dora as well.
All right. The question pending is, when was the last time your mother had been in the car prior to June of 2008?
I couldn't say for sure.
What kind of hair does she have?
She's had it different lengths, but never longer than her shoulder in the last 10 years. It's always been shoulder length or a little shorter.
And what color is her hair?
She's got blonde and a little bit of brown and mostly gray and white.
Do you have knowledge as to whether or not any of your brothers have been in the Sunfire?
The only one that could have possibly is my oldest brother, but I don't think he has. But
I think
it's
she's
possible he
trying
could
to
have
talk
been
about
with
like
either my son or
mitochondrial
Casey to the store or
DNA.
something.
Which
And
is
what
only
sort of hairstyle would he have had at that point?
And he keeps his hair very short and his is blonde.
In 2008, were you aware of whether or not there was any duct tape in your home?
I recall black duct tape that we had, and I think we had blue at one point and possibly silver. I'm not sure. I know I'm not one to really use it. I know I did use the black when we had protesters because I used it to wrap the no trespassing signs.
Was any of the duct tape that was in your home kept anywhere other than the garage?
Not that I'm aware of.
Was any duct tape that was in your home used at a command center that was set up by the family?
Not ours. I know that the Kid Finders Network and George had purchased supplies for the command center. And I know that they did use duct tape to hold up some of the other children's posters and some of Kaylee's posters at the command center. But that I don't believe that came from our house.
Do you recall making a statement that duct tape from your house was used at the command center? Have you ever made a statement?
Sustained, rephrase the question.
Have you ever made a statement that duct tape from your house was used at the command center?
If I did, I don't recall it. I could have.
All right. May I show the witness? Do you remember giving a deposition in this case back in July of 2009?
Yes, ma'am.
At that point, you were placed under oath and you answered questions for a period of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was present as well as Mr. Baez.
Yes.
All right, if I may show the witness page 511.
I'm going to ask the chat a question. Going to pin it and everything. Watching.
Actually, on this issue, if we could go to page 570, line 13.
Yeah, meow.
I remember telling you about that episode. Yes.
Okay. What do you recall saying about the duct tape that was in your house?
I remember George telling me about putting a piece of duct tape on the gas can. I never saw him do that, but I remember him telling me that when the gas can came back from the sheriff's department, that the little vent cover had been missing and he placed a piece of tape over it.
All right. If I may refer you to 512, line 24.
There we go.
If we can get the question before that as well. Do you recall my asking when you explained about the use of the duct tape that was in the home on the gas can? Do you recall my asking where the role of duct tape was currently at the time of the deposition in July of 2009?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I'd have to look at line 26 to be able to tell you that.
The complete answer, please.
Can I have the, yeah, sorry.
All right. Can you give her the whole answer? It spans 2 pages.
What's in New York? Yorkshire.
You might as well go through line 12 on page 513.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you go? Where you go?
Through line 12, please.
Hammer. Hey, new.
Read that
watchers,
to yourself and
make
tell me
sure
if
to
that
like,
refreshes your recollection.
please.
I recall that, but again, I recalled using duct tape at the command center, but did not know the origin of the duct tape if it came from our house. I think it was, I didn't specifically say who got the tape, but I know at some point that they did go and purchase duct tape.
Cheshire? Okay, hold on. You guys, thank you so much for commenting. Did you know that if you comment, like in the chat, you are 100% more likely to get a gifted membership? And we get gifted memberships in here all the time. So the more you chat, the better it is for you. It's not like an ego thing for me, I promise. It does help the algorithm, but it also lets YouTube know that, hey, this person was chatting, they're worthy of a membership. So just as an FYI for those of you who are just now typing, welcome to the stream. I hope you have liked the stream and I hope you are subscribed to the channel. Love to see you in here more often. Thanks.
Right. If I may have
Louisiana.
QS or QP.
I don't understand accents from Louisiana. It is very difficult for me to nail down.
May I show the witness
Oh,
QT for identification?
look at you.
Right?
Thank you.
Ma'am, do you recognize anything in QT for identification?
I recognize Kaylee's sign, her poster for
Dark fairy tales. Hold on. I don't
from
want
the
to talk over this.
Kid Finders missing, that's children's poster that they made for her.
Okay. Do you know where that poster was?
I'm not sure if it was on the inside of the tent in the middle part or on the one of the outside legs of the tent. That tent was moved so many times.
They have a lot
that
of
I don't
trains.
recall. And I wasn't
Right.
there as often as George was, so I'm not sure if that was in the center post or on the outside post
All
on
right.
that picture. I can't tell.
And when you're referring to a tent, are you referring to a tent that was used at the command center?
Yes, in the beginning, we had those little pop-up tents that you purchase at the store. And then at one point, Kid Finders had a very large tent donated that had center poles. And that one we used at our last center on Goldenrod up by East Colonial. And I can't tell where this one's taken. I can't tell from this if this is one of those pop-up ones with a large tent.
Maybe I'll be
Do you see an individual in the background?
I see someone, but I don't know who that is.
Peggy.
Right. If I may have QZ for identification, please,
Are you going to be introducing this photo?
at the appropriate time.
Okay. Just to let you know, we have no objections to the introduction of this photo at this time.
In our good old times, soldier.
All right. Ma'am, do you recognize QZ as something that you've been shown before?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you recognize that to be?
And those are pictures of similar canvas items that we had purchased and had at the home.
All right. Do those pictures on that item accurately reflect items similar to what you had in your home at one time?
The top item, I can't tell the size. It's blurred. I can't see it. The bottom one, it looks like the one that we used in Kaylee's room for her stuffed animals by her bed.
All right. Can you testify that you had items similar to both of those items pictured in your home at one time?
The bottom one with the measurements for sure. The top one, I don't know because I can't tell the size. I'm not sure how big it is.
I have QZ for identification.
I don't know why I just got sent to a whole crazy page on YouTube. Okay, we're done. It wanted me to like confirm
May I
what I
approach the
want to
witness,
be
Your Honor?
emailed
You may.
about. Dude, I don't know.
I'm going to show you QZ and Exhibit 29 from your deposition. Tell me
This
if those
is-
are identical.
This is her mom. It is a very sad case and outcome. Oh.
Yes, they appear to be.
Oh no.
Can you see the size designation of the top item, number 2516?
I can on this one, not this one.
All right, on the one that was attached to your deposition as Exhibit 29. Can you
This
read it
one?
on?
The one with the holes in it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. After reviewing that, does that size that's indicated in that photograph comport with your memory as to the size of an item similar to that one that you had in your home at one time?
Yes, it's similar.
Okay.
That's like
Your Honor, at this
a
point, I would
loaded
seek to introduce
question.
QZ for identification.
Is anyone else having trouble hearing me?
What says the
Okay, all
defense?
right.
No
You
objections.
hear me.
It will be
Maybe
received in
Tiffany
evidence.
and
The
maybe
state's
on you,
number.
girl.
Permission to publish at this time?
You may publish.
I gotta put comments
All right, Mrs. Anthony, the item
on the
at the
screen.
top of the screen, would you describe as cylindrical?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have an item like that at your home in 2008 or 2007?
Yes, we did.
Okay, where was it kept?
At one point, we had it in one of the sheds. I remember storing some of Kaylee's little plastic balls for a ball pit. And then at some point, I got a laundry bag that had a zipper so the balls wouldn't fall out. And then I put that in the garage up over the laundry area on one of the shelves.
Is that the last place that you saw the item on the top, the cylindrical bag?
Yeah, I hadn't looked for that item or seen that item in
Why is this?
a
I
very long
always
time
so
since
much
I
like
used
more-
that. And it probably had been maybe 8 or 9 months prior to the summer of 2008.
Now, the item at the bottom of the exhibit, which is labeled 2213, did you have an item such as that at your home in
Yes,
2008?
Yes.
And where was the last place that you saw this item?
We had recently removed it from Kaylee's bedroom. We had stored her stuffed animals in it, but then I found a hanging storage thing for stuffed animals where she could actually see them. It was like a tree. And at that time, we moved her stuffed animals to
Like
that
one of
and then
those
put that
hammocks. I don't want.
in the garage
Oh.
area.
That sounded really mean. She walks on my keyboard. She bites me. She's biting you. I wanted a puppy that won't attack me.
Do you recall, or did you ever make a statement that the last time that you
So
saw
we can snuggle
item
later.
2213 or the similar item that was in your home, the last time you saw it was in Kaylee's bedroom?
Yes, I remember stating that because that's where at the time I thought I had remembered seeing it, but I recalled that the reason why I got the other thing was to put that away, and I had forgotten I had switched it out. Because there's a space between Kaylee's bed and the wall
Never pull.
where we had kept that. And after a while, when I was going into Kaylee's room, I remembered certain things, and I remember taking that one out.
I try never to pull on my
All right,
ice
so
cream.
you agree that your memory in July of 2009 was that the last time that you saw this item 2213 or the similar item in your home, it was in Kaylee's bedroom?
I'm sorry, repeat it. I didn't follow you.
Do you recall making a different statement in July of 2009 about the last place that you saw the item in your home that resembled 2213?
Yes, I recall making that statement that I last had seen it in Kaylee's bedroom.
Do you recall, or did you make a statement that after the police had executed the search warrant, you believed that the item was no longer in Kaylee's bedroom?
Again, that whole period of time, it was very difficult for me. And at that time, I thought it was still in her bedroom. But as I stated in a previous questioning with you, that my memory has gotten better
Over
of
time.
certain things. Yes,
Little white dog.
over time.
Okay. Permission to unpublish, Your Honor?
You may.
Oh, man. He's hiding.
All right, if I may have 290 in evidence.
I don't know why he didn't just bring the Frenchie. She loves to be on here.
May I publish since this is already admitted into evidence, Your Honor?
You may.
The two bags that we were just referring to, the white bags that you kept stuffed animals in at one point, and then those plastic balls that you made reference to, were either one of them stored in this location in the garage?
Yes.
Can you circle and let the members of the jury know where they were? Okay. What is that they are being stored inside of?
We would put anything that would collect dust, something that we couldn't wipe off like fabric, or we had like the cat carrier and dog carriers up there. We would store the items in a trash bag.
Okay. If I may have 291
Perfect.
and permission to publish that
Yeah.
one as well, Your Honor.
You may.
Ma'am, do you recognize the close-up of that portion of the garage in 291 in evidence?
Yes.
Okay. Is the type of container that you would have those white bags in consistent with the container shown, the black plastic bags in 291?
Yes, it would be in either one of them. I wouldn't know which one it would have been in.
After the execution of the search warrant on December 11th of 2008, did you see either one of those items again?
No.
If I may have 281 in evidence and permission to publish that as well.
You may.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Do you see the item that you were referring to that used to be kept in the cylindrical
Yes.
bag?
Somehow
Can you
that
circle that and point it out
Now
for the
it's-
jury?
Now it's firm. That's what she said.
Okay, what is inside of that?
Little plastic balls that you'd find in a ball pit.
I am committed to the look tonight. What's the summer of 69? Riley?
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Sorry, everyone. I'm going to mute myself for a moment because I got to yell at Frank. What in the hell?
I show the witness 13 in evidence.
You may.
Mrs. Anthony, do you recognize 13 in evidence to be a photograph of your daughter and granddaughter?
Yes.
The shirt, and if we could zoom in on Kaylee, please. Do you recognize the shirt that Kaylee is wearing?
The first time I had ever seen that shirt was during my deposition.
Your Honor, may I publish?
You may.
Say, I am 14 years old of rage and
Did you do the laundry at the home?
Yes.
more rage.
Most of the time. George and Casey did it once in a while too.
Having issues on my
Would it be fair to
end.
say that you've never seen that shirt at your house?
I don't ever remember seeing that shirt.
Sorry, guys.
And you never saw the picture of Kaylee in the shirt until July of 2009?
No.
Thank you, Mrs. Anthony. I don't have any other questions of the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, be a good time to take our mid-afternoon recess. We'll be in recess to 3 o'clock. Members of the jury, please do not discuss this case among yourselves.
Oh, it
And
started
please
working
remember all
again.
of my previous admonitions.
Ooh, I like this. Send hearts. It's free. It is. Make sure to
We have
hit the
questions
like
from the
button,
jury.
please. Ooh, questions from the jury.
Can we see Exhibit 313? We did not see it after it was introduced. I think 313 may have been that heart shape item. You may want to take out the overhead document.
No.
Oh, God.
They asked for Exhibit 313.
Oh, no. Here she comes.
The other question, I can't answer them now. It has to do with deliberations. They want to know during deliberations, will we get a type list of all exhibits? So what they want is an exhibit list, which we can provide them.
Can or can't?
Did you say which we cannot provide to
I
them?
said, which we can.
Okay. Well, sir.
So
Please
how
do
do y'all
not
want to handle the
yell.
request to see 313?
I don't have any objection if they want to
Hold on.
pass it around. I don't have gloves available for them at this juncture.
Well, they asked specifically for Exhibit 313. So pull out the document camera and put it on that so they can see it. Once they see that, then you can begin your cross-examination of Miss Anthony. Well, we have, Madam Clerk, make sure we have enough gloves to send back into the jury room. More than 12 pack, because they will probably discard them and use them, so they need a box.
It's in a form that it can just be passed to them.
Problem I have, Judge, is that
Yes, sir.
is through the handling of the evidence, the sticker has now fallen off of the cardboard and it was stuck to the cardboard. And I'd like it to be shown in the condition of which it was when it was collected, which I think would be the fair and more accurate representation of the actual item.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get some help over
State
here.
comments?
Here's another candy cane.
The evidence is in the condition, as I understand it, that it was. There's no testimony that it was stuck to that cardboard. It was photographed on a piece of cardboard. If Mr. Baez wishes to call the witness back who collected the item, we have no objection to that person clarifying at some point in time whether or not this was actually stuck to the item that it's with. But there was a photograph that was taken. I have no objection to that, since I believe that may not be in evidence, but obviously at the appropriate time, I have no objection to them reviewing that.
Okay, we're back.
The better solution.
But this is not in evidence yet.
We can stipulate to that, this item being in evidence. I don't have an issue with that.
There's specific case law
Hey.
that provides that when a jury asks a specific question, you answer that question. What they specifically asked for, can we see Exhibit 313? We did not see it after it was introduced. Now, if y'all want to introduce something else and show it to them subsequent to that, then that's fine. But they will see 313. That's what they asked for.
My goodness.
I think we're going to reach a mutual agreement here, Judge.
Do you want it on the document camera?
Well, you know what? Put it on the document camera, and if they want to see it on their hands, they can see it on their hands. Later on, you can pass it to them, but that's wasn't what they asked.
I would ask if it comes to the point where they're requesting that it be handed to them, that we have an instruction that at the time of collection, it was stuck to a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, making it all.
Is there record testimony that it was stuck to a piece of cardboard?
I believe that in the collection of this, it does say heart-shaped sticker stuck to a piece of cardboard.
Is there record testimony that says that?
Yeah. Well,
I believe that the record testimony is that it's a piece of cardboard material, and then there's a symbol for what is with pink raised heart-shaped material attached.
Okay. Who was the witness that predicated the exhibit?
Robin Maynard.
Okay.
That was last Saturday.
When we take a break, we will have Ms. Peters, who covered that day, pull her testimony and see what the record says.
Riley.
Document camera is,
Let's see. You got to turn it on.
well,
You got to turn it on.
Okay, you got it
Mama.
on now.
the light. It's a reflection.
Why don't we do this? Let's bring the jury in. We can let them see it on the document camera, and then I can inquire as to whether or not they want to pass it among themselves to take a look at it.
Where
Okay?
things are.
And will we be having argument outside of the presence of the jury?
Argument about what?
Well, the problem is, Judge, is that we have an item of evidence that is altered as it is being shown to the jury that was not, that is not how it was when it was collected. So I think in fairness, they must be made aware that this item was stuck to this piece of cardboard. They wouldn't have included the cardboard if it wasn't stuck to it. I mean,
That may be true, Mr. Baez. Just a second. Let's go off the record. Call Ms. Peters up, ask her to pull up that testimony and find it. And then we'll see whether or not it was testified to that, because if it was no testimony, then all we have are assumptions. So we'll go off the record now. Okay, folks, this is what I'm proposing to do. I would tell them that we would get that exhibit and give them opportunity to look at it, but we will continue with the cross-examination of Ms. Anthony, okay? By that time, we should have an answer to Mr. Baez's question.
Well, duh.
Is that acceptable to both sides?
Available.
Yeah, just leave it out there just in case.
If you're interested
All right,
in any of the makeup that I'm using
let's
today,
return, let's have Ms. Anthony back on the witness stand.
you can go to the video description and there's a 10% off promo code that you can just click on.
All right, let's return to jury.
I don't know what happened to my red lippies. Oh, well, Alabama, welcome. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, please, and like. Oh my gosh, we have a special guest for the Happy New Year celebration. Oh my gosh.
All right, state recognized president of jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense.
yes, sir, we do.
Okay, Mr. Baez, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good afternoon, Mrs. Anthony. I want to try and take things back into perspective, if I can. Your granddaughter, Kaylee, was found on December 11, 2008, correct?
Yes,
And on December 11th, 2008, the police executed a search warrant of your home.
yes, I found out after that, yes.
And you weren't home.
No,
In fact, you didn't go home for a couple days later.
we went home the next day to gather our dogs.
But it was a couple days before you actually went back to the house, correct?
Yes,
And after that, you were home for a few days and you got to see what the police had done in your absence.
yes,
And then on December 20th, the police came back and executed a second search warrant of your home.
yes,
And during that second execution of the search warrant, well, actually, let me backtrack for a moment.
Look at
When
me. She's so great.
when you got home, you saw a copy of the search warrant there and the items that they had confiscated from your home, correct?
no.
Did they give them to your attorney at the time?
I'm not sure at what point we got them. It took us a while to get the copy of the items.
Okay. And
Just so you guys know, thank you for liking and subscribing. Any donations that I get for the rest of the stream, and maybe knows this, I am looking to invest in another camera that I can use so that we can have a puppy cam on the side of the screen at all times. Because apparently, according to my analytics, you guys are really into this puppy. Pearl, I'm struggling. Pearl, can you show them your face? Oh, look at the baby. So I just wanted to let you know if you're interested, because sometimes I get questions like, what do you actually need money for? You're just live streaming old trials. Well, not necessarily. I do new and old trials. And yeah, things like that, equipment. All right, let's go.
20th, when the police arrived at your home, it was a difficult time for you
Absolutely.
and the rest of your family as well.
Yes.
And there was somewhat of a confrontation when the police arrived. Isn't that correct?
Relevancy?
It relates to the items listed. It relates to the issues raised during direct examination. I can tie it in fairly quickly, Judge.
Overall, for now.
Fair to say it was somewhat of a confrontational moment.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, George had to be taken to the back area, correct? I'm going to tie it in within a matter of 3 questions, Judge.
Sustain this to the last question. Next question.
Mrs. Anthony, at that point, did you tell law enforcement that that's when you told them there was a missing blanket?
I don't know when I told him about a blanket.
Okay. Are you aware that that's a statement you made to them at that time on December 20th?
Not until you're telling me right now.
Okay. Are you aware that on the search warrant of December 11th, there was mentioning on the actual warrant for Winnie the Pooh blankets?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. He's asking questions based on items not in evidence.
These are direct lines of questionings by Ms. Drain Burdick.
Approach.
He is not happy.
You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Anthony, when you came back home a couple days after December 11th of 2008, your house was a mess.
Yes.
And the police had basically turned the house upside down.
Yes.
And they didn't put anything back.
No.
Ooh,
And
look at that.
they took items, did they not?
Yes.
And included in the items was Kaylee's bedding set, correct?
Yes, at some point her bedding set was taken.
Okay. So you were aware when you came back that they were interested in her bedding material?
I wasn't sure what they were interested in. They opened just about every drawer and looked under every little thing.
Okay. Now, page 57. Ms. Drain Burdick had, may I publish this to the witness, Judge? States it was 570.
That's deposition.
Yes, this is testimony that she was shown during her direct examination. I want to ask her some questions about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you see that, Mrs. Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like for you to read for a moment lines 10 through 15.
Yes.
And during direct examination, when you were asked along this lines of questioning, what exactly was the question asked to you during this?
Object. It's the lawyer who has to ask the question. This is improper. There's no impeachment going on with this question and answer.
I'm not impeaching her. I'm asking her questions that she was asked during direct examination. She was shown this item and discussed it.
The page that he's referring to is hearsay, and we would object on that basis
The page
from the deposition.
hearsay in terms of who was the person who was being questioned.
Right? It's not a court statement. If he wants to ask her it independent of it rather than reading from a hearsay document, that's one thing, but it would have to be impeaching information.
He can ask the form of the question and the leading question, so you can read the question and give an answer. You're on cross-examination. Go ahead.
10 through 15. Mrs. Anthony, were you asked by Ms. Drain Burdick if Casey removed any duct tape from the house when she was out of jail for the period of time, the 2 periods of time? Or you asked that question?
I don't remember, but if it's in my deposition, then I must have been asked that question.
Does that refresh your recollection that you were asked that question? Do you see that there?
No, I don't remember talking about it. I don't remember them asking me if Casey removed any duct tape, but if it's in there, then I had a 2-day deposition, so I don't remember every single thing that she asked me.
I understand it's a couple years later, but did you respond, as far as I remember, no? Because I think we only had one roll of
I
duct
got
tape.
deposed
The
last year and I
witness
don't
said she did not
remember.
remember if you wanted to try to refresh her recollection. But at this juncture, she says she does not
Fine.
remember the question. So I object to counsel reading it. It's improper impeachment.
Mr. Baez?
This
Mr.
testimony was
Baez.
elicited by, we're in a little bit of a unique situation because Ms. Dream Burdick had questioned her.
Go ahead and establish the predicate for past recollection recorded.
Sure. If I can have just a moment, Judge. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Do you recall giving a deposition in this case, ma'am?
Yes.
And if you could look at the first page to give the date. And the first, hold on, yeah, the very front.
July 29th, 2009.
Okay. And were you placed under oath at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read that 10 through 15 lines, 10 through 15?
10 is question, okay, did Casey remove any duct tape from the house when she was out of jail?
Wait, slow down. She can't hear you.
Okay.
Lisa. And take the time.
Question was, okay, did Casey remove any duct tape from the house when she was out of jail for that period of time, the 2 periods of time?
Can you give the answer?
As far as I remember, no, because I think we only had 1 roll of duct tape and George was using that.
So it was your understanding when you took the deposition that you only had 1 roll of duct tape, correct?
Yes, during that time period when Casey was out of jail, we had a black roll of duct tape and we were using it all the time to repair our signs that the protesters would knock down in front of our house. So yes,
And your understanding was that the only one using that 1 roll of duct tape was George?
well, I would be using it too for those signs.
The answer you gave in the deposition was that the only person using that 1 roll of duct tape was George Anthony, correct?
Probably. Again, it's the context of the questioning.
I understand that. Now, I'd like to talk about the
My dog kept going underneath my makeup station when I do makeovers in my home. And so I had to ask Frank to go over and see if there was any food under there because.
May I show the witness, Your Honor, states evidence 314 and publish for the jury as well.
You may.
Can you see that photograph, Mrs. Anthony?
Yes.
Can the ladies and gentlemen of the jury see the photograph? Okay. Prior to me getting into the photograph, Mrs. Anthony, I'd like to ask you, how long have you owned the Pontiac Sunfire?
I think since 2000.
Okay. So you had owned it for 8 years in total, correct? Prior to it being confiscated in this case.
Yes.
And your hair length has changed numerous times throughout that time period.
Yes.
And so has that of Casey.
Yes.
And so has that of Kaylee.
Yes.
And I know we touched on your mother as well, having access to the car, but I presume her hair has changed as well.
Her length hasn't ever gone past her shoulders.
Okay. And how
What
many
are we
inches would you
getting
say
at?
the length of her hair was?
The longest, maybe just right to here,
Okay. Can you give us a guesstimate?
5 inches.
Okay. And Lee's hair is also varied in length, correct?
Yes, his hair is usually very short.
Okay. Now, turning your focus to the photograph, this photograph was taken in early 2007, correct?
Yes.
And Kaylee would have been, at that time,
Sorry, phone.
younger than 2 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
My bad.
Approximately 15 months, would you say?
I would say maybe 18 months.
Okay.
That like and subscribe
And
button, please.
the shorts are 24,
Correct.
correct? And in June 16th of 2008, a year and 3 months later, Kaylee has grown significantly, has she not?
Yes.
In fact, Kaylee no longer fit into these shorts, did she?
I don't believe so.
Okay. She had outgrown these shorts.
She was in 3Ts.
Okay. And these are 24 months, correct?
I think so.
So would it be a fair statement to make that whoever put these shorts on her were not familiar with her size?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to asking the witness to speculate.
Sustain.
But as you testified under direct examination, ma'am, that,
Oh, mascara.
oh, never mind, I'll withdraw the question. Thank you, Mrs. Anthony.
Okay.
Redirect.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Anthony. You may stand down. Okay, members of the jury, you had asked earlier to have an opportunity to see Exhibit 313. We can publish it via the document camera, and we can also pass it around for you to look at. Would you like one or both of those methods? Okay, so we will publish it on the document camera. Please read the writing contained on the exhibit so the jury would understand when this item was originally taken into custody, how the exhibit currently was brought into custody.
Exhibit 313 is identified as a piece of cardboard matting with pink raised heart-shaped material attached.
You will also notice now that it has separated. Okay, please let us know when you're finishing it. We will pass it around. Ready? Okay, please pass it around.
As evaluating the evidence, they should consider it attached.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when this item was taken into evidence, it was one complete. The heart was attached to the cardboard liner.
Okay. Oops. Hold on. Is someone snoring in there? You always want the wand to go towards your nose during application. You could hear a pin drop in there. Jeez. Just do a little on the bottom. And I'm about to take out my hair, my curls. We're looking for more of a blowout look today. So hopefully, oh, that's why you don't do it that way. Hopefully it turns out okay. If not, I have my curling iron. Okay, let's see where we are in this. I don't think that's Pearl. Pearl's right next to me, and oh, they're still going. Okay.
Statement, call in next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, after consultation with the defense, there were several stipulations.
We need your microphone on the phone. The court reporter hear you.
After consultation with the defense, there are several stipulations that we'd like to announce at this time, if I may approach
You may.
with those. And there are two exhibits that go with this first item, QT and QI. No, I'm sorry, QT and RA.
Why are you licking your lips?
What says the defense says to this stipulation?
We have no objections to that, to those two items. And may I stand, since we're doing the stipulations?
Yes. Okay. You want me to read them?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
not only the stipulation, but there is an affidavit as it relates to one of the items, actually to both of the items, QT and RA.
You want the affidavit, and do you also want the notice of intent to rely upon the affidavit of professional journalists?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, the following stipulation between the state of Florida and the defendant. The copies of the video and still photographs from the video taken by WF-TV on July 20th, 2008 are true and accurate representations of the business records of WF-TV Television Incorporated. The parties have agreed to this fact, and it should be considered as true in your deliberations, bearing the signature of Ms. Drain Burdick, Mr. Baez, and Ms. Anthony. Second document is notice of intent to rely upon affidavit of professional journalists. This document serves as notice to the above listed defendant that the state of Florida intends to introduce the document described in the attached affidavit of a professional journalist into evidence at a hearing or trial of this matter pursuant to section 90.803 paren 6, 90.5015 paren 6, and 90.902 paren 11 Florida statute. The document described in the attached affidavit of the professional journalist WF-TV Television Incorporated were previously provided to the defendant's counsel as discovery. Signed by Ms. Linda Drain Burdick. Affidavit of professional journalist. I, Daniel Criswell, am a professional journalist currently employed with WF-TV Television Incorporated. Attached hereto are true and correct copies of videos or photographs produced by my company on July 20th, 2008 at the temporary Kelly Anthony Search Command Post manned by Lee Anthony in the parking lot of the public supermarket on Chickasaw and Lake Underhill, which I have personal knowledge. The attached video recording or photograph is a true and accurate copy of the original and truly and accurately reflects the observation and facts contained therein, bearing the signature of the affiant on the oath. I will now file a stipulation with the clerk.
At this point, we would seek to introduce Q, T, and RA for identification into evidence as the state's next numbered exhibits.
And that's the exhibit that the affidavit is referring to.
Correct. One is a photograph and the other is a very brief video.
What says the defense?
No objection.
It will be received in evidence as states number.
May we publish 317 first, followed by 316?
You may. Did you see it?
Have Mr. Perez zoom in on the area inside the red.
And that's exhibit what?
It pixelated. That would have been 316.
Okay.
Permission to unpublish?
Have you had an opportunity to review it, members of the jury? You may unpublish.
All right, we're like 40% through and has nice volume.
We have several additional stipulations.
Remember, she cannot hear you without the microphone.
We have several additional stipulations for the court at this juncture.
Okay.
First, stipulation to the clerk. This will probably need an identification number because there are documents.
Okay.
And when the stipulation is accepted, we would move RV for identification into evidence as the next numbered exhibit.
What says the defense as to the stipulation?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the following stipulation has been entered into between the state and the defense. In 2008, Cindy Anthony was employed by Gentiva Health Services. The attached documents are true and accurate copies of the business records of Gentiva Health Services regarding Cindy Anthony's employment from January 1st, 2008 through July 16th, 2008. The parties have agreed to this fact and it should be considered as true in your deliberations. Signed by Linda Drain Burdick, Jose Baez, and Ms. Anthony, the defendant. The second portion is a business record certificate. And then the third portion, which I will not read the entire thing, but it is a time card history report. Any objections based upon the stipulation? Any additional objections?
None from the defense, Your Honor.
It will be received in evidence as, okay?
There's an additional stipulation which we've asked the clerk to label as RW.
All right, I'm switching off of this stream. If they're just
It's
doing what
RC.
Oh, I
you're,
thought the first one was RB, RC. RC.
or
Okay, as
I
the
guess it's not
stipulation
even what
is,
we're
I will
doing.
read it and then ask the defense, is this stipulation acceptable? In 2008, George Anthony was employed by Security Forces Incorporated. The attached documents are true and accurate copies of the business records of Security Forces Incorporated regarding George Anthony's employment from January 16, 2008 through July 4th, 2008. The parties have agreed to this fact, and it should be considered as true in your deliberations. Bearing the signatures, Linda Drain Burdick, Assistant State Attorney, Mr. Jose Baez, counsel for Ms. Casey Anthony, and bearing the signature of Ms. Anthony, business record certificate, and then the weekly time reports of Mr. Anthony. States offering this in evidence. Any objections by the defense?
No objections by the defense.
It will be
Okay,
received
I
in
have something
evidence as.
interesting for us. Peggy's here.
Now, do you wish to publish any of those two exhibits by the use of the document camera? Or are you just gonna?
Peg,
No, at this time,
Okay.
they can go to the jury during deliberations. We have an additional stipulation that I would present to the clerk that has multiple documents attached to it.
you're here, Peggy. I don't know. Are you on your phone, Peggy? Can you see the rest of the chat?
Okay, stipulation regarding State's Exhibit RD. R is in Ron, D is in dog. Okay, let's approach.
There are two additional stipulations.
Okay, let's finish this one here. We haven't finished this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with those modifications, what says the defense as to what's the identification number, Madam Clerk? RD.
No objections.
Okay, RD will be received in evidence as states numbered.
All right, let's go to the next thing. Sorry, guys, for the noise. I can't unmute and mute.
I will read the stipulation into evidence.
And my camera's off. Sorry.
The attached documents are true and accurate records of the business records from Photo Bucket relating to photographs from May 24th, 2007 through July 16th, 2008. The parties have agreed to this fact, and it should be considered as true in your deliberations. All right, you may continue.
And the two final stipulations have no documents attached, if I could just approach the clerk.
Welch, W-E-L-C-H.
You may proceed, Mr. George.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Welch, you are a CSI investigator for the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Ma'am, I want to draw your attention to August 13th of 2009. On that date, did you come in contact with the defendant, Casey Anthony?
Yes, I did.
And why did you
Thank
come
you,
in contact
Peggy.
with her on that date?
I came into contact with her to photograph a tattoo that was on her back.
Previous motions and objections.
Noted previous motion and noted previous objections. The court will stand by prior rulings. Objection will be overruled. Thank you, Mr. Baez.
In total, how many photographs did you take?
I took a total of 23 photographs in this instance.
They weren't all of the, were they all of the tattoo?
No, they were not.
All right. Let's go first to, I'm showing you what's been previously marked for identification Q. Oh, I would, Judge. That would probably help a little bit. Can you see that, ma'am?
Yes, I can.
All right. Do you I'm sorry. QU? Do you recognize QU?
Yes, I do.
Can you, what is that? Did you take that photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the photograph you took of the defendant on August 13th of 2009?
Yes, it is.
And cite no predicate.
Overruled.
Let's go to HJ. Okay, now showing you what's been previously marked for identification HJ. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Did you take that photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of the defendant and the tattoo as you saw it on August 13th of 2009?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. I don't have any further questions of this witness at this time.
Cross-examination.
No questions.
Okay. May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You may be excused.
Thank you.
Bobby Williams, BOBBYWILLIAMS.
You may proceed, Mr. George.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Williams, how are you employed?
I'm currently employed at Cast Iron Tattoos.
And what do you do for Cast Iron Tattoos?
I'm a tattoo artist and manager.
How long have you been a tattoo artist?
As of June 5th, 2011, I've been there 8 years.
That kind of answers my next question. Were you working at Cast Iron Tattoos back in July of 2008?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Casey Anthony?
Yes, sir.
How long have you known her?
Roughly, say about 7 years.
Okay. Sir, directing your attention to July 2nd of 2008, did you see the defendant on that day?
Yes, sir.
It's time renewal our previous motions and objections.
Objection overruled. Noting previous objections, you may continue.
Thank you, sir. Where did you see her?
At the shop.
All right. Why did you see her at the shop?
She came in to get tattooed. She had an appointment.
Okay. Do you know when she made that appointment?
It was probably 3 to 4 days prior.
Did she make that appointment with you?
Yes.
Was that appointment in person or over the phone?
Over the phone.
Did you recognize her voice?
Yes.
Did she identify herself?
Yes.
When you spoke with her a couple of days before and she made the appointment, did you ask her what she wanted done?
Yes, sir.
What did she tell you?
Bella Vita and a feminine type font.
In a feminine type font?
Feminine.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
thought he said a feminine DYK.
Is that a routine question that you would ask what a customer wants done?
And I think
Usually.
Okay, why?
Just to get an idea of what they
Trial
want
judge was
and
confused,
just
or-
give me time to get stuff drawing up and make any changes before they actually come in.
So did the defendant make her appointment?
Yes, sir.
Now, when she arrived, did you already have the design ready to go?
No, I ended up actually drawing it that day.
You drew the design?
Yes.
All right. And did you apply the tattoo?
Yes, sir.
How long did the tattoo take to apply?
With drawing time, roughly probably about 30 minutes or so.
Okay, let's bring up this. Sir, I'm showing you what's been previously marked for identification HJ. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Bella Vita.
Okay. Is that the tattoo that you drew on the defendant on July 2nd of 2008?
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair and accurate picture of what you did?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, the state would move what's been previously marked for identification HJ into evidence.
Renew all previous motions and objections.
Approach the sidebar.
Oh man, I got hairspray on my.
Okay, state recognized person of jury.
I hate that feeling.
The defense.
Yes, sir, we do.
Mr. George, you may continue.
Thank you, Judge. I guess when we let the state was moving what's been previously marked for identification HJ into evidence.
It's very full
Same objections?
Yes, sir.
looking.
Renew all
It
previous
has
motions and objections.
the,
Note in previous
blowout.
motions, note in previous objections. It will be received in evidence as states numbered.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to publish
You may.
321. Okay. All right, sir. You drew out this design before the tattoo was actually applied, correct?
Yes, sir.
The star-like figures, was that something that you designed?
Yes.
Before applying the tattoo, did the defendant basically sign off on it or agree to it?
Yes, she did agree to it.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, may I unpublish it?
You may.
All right. You said that this tattoo took about a half hour to apply. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
When Ms. Anthony first came to your shop, how would you describe her demeanor? How was she acting?
Normal.
Overruled.
And
Thank you.
previous motions and objections as to this topic, Judge.
You may answer the questions.
Normal.
What does that mean?
Didn't seem upset about anything.
Homicidal.
Did she seem happy?
Yeah, but I guess pretty happy for the most part.
Okay. While you were applying the tattoo, did you have any conversations with her?
Not other than asking her if she was doing okay during the process of it.
Yeah, beautiful light.
Did she indicate that
Very
she was
dumb
doing okay?
decision on
Yes, she was
her.
fine.
All right. What was she doing while you were applying the tattoo?
She was on the phone.
Okay. Was that the majority of the time?
Yes, sir.
After the tattoo was applied, did she, I'm sorry, how much does a tattoo like that cost?
That one was 65
All right.
That's it?
Overruled.
How did she pay you?
cash.
Did she immediately leave the store at that point?
No, sir.
What happened?
Coworker and I, we ended up ordering pizza, and she actually had a couple slices.
Okay.
And then
Who paid for lunch?
she did.
All right. Directing your attention to July 15th, did you have the occasion to see the defendant again?
Yes, sir.
Where did you see her?
Inside the shop.
Okay. When she came into the shop, why did she come in? Did she tell you?
She came in to set another appointment.
When did you make that appointment for?
I believe it was 19th. The 19th. So Saturday.
When she came into the store, well, actually, let me go back a little bit. When she came to see you on the 2nd, did she come by herself?
Yes, sir.
When she came to see you on the 15th, did she come by herself?
Yes, sir.
When she came in on the 15th and made another appointment, how was her mood?
Same.
Overruled. Sorry?
Same, just normal.
Okay. Normal meaning what?
Happy. Not seem to be upset or anything.
All right. And she made an appointment for 2 on the 19th?
Yes, sir.
Now, did she tell you what design that she wanted applied on the 19th?
No, not at the time.
What did she tell you about the design?
She just wanted it was an appointment for her and a friend that was coming out of town, and she didn't really describe a design that she wanted at the time.
Did she say what the possibilities were?
Chances are maybe I think it was either be a matching tattoo with the friend, or either they could have been getting like something completely different. So I guess she was just pretty indecisive about it.
Knowing her as long, were you aware that she had a daughter named Kaylee?
Yes, sir.
Did she mention anything about Kaylee when she visited you on July 2nd?
No, sir.
On July 15th, did she mention her daughter Kaylee?
Yes.
What did she say about her?
She's with the nanny.
Okay. Did she say anything about bringing her daughter into the shop?
Yes, Kaylee would be in the shop on the 19th when she came in for her appointment.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have no further questions of the witness.
Cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon.
Sir, is it customary in your business that people get tattoos to remember their loved ones that are passed?
They do, yes.
Okay. And that's something you do quite often?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you do the tattoo for George and Cindy Anthony that they've done, that they've had to commemorate Kaylee Anthony?
No, sir.
Relevant, outside the scope.
Sustained.
Did you do?
Oh God! Look who's come to join us.
Did you have any other interactions for tattoos for any other members of the Anthony family?
Or outside the scope, irrelevant.
Sustained.
No, Coco.
I have no further questions.
Mr. George?
No.
When she came in on the 2nd and got her tattoo, did she appear to be mournful?
Excuse me?
Was she mourning? Did she appear to be mournful?
Objection, Judge.
Your Honor, this is a direct.
We have a
Just a
motion.
second.
Objection, and we have a motion as well.
Approach the side. Okay, Mr. George.
Thank you, Judge. I have no further questions of the witness.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You may be excused. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this concludes the presentation of evidence for today. And I will see you in the morning at 9 a.m.
So something happens here.
Okay.
Wants to renew a motion for mistrial on several grounds. One, to renew the one we made the other day regarding the morphing of the photograph of the tape and the skeleton and so forth. Additionally, now, today, we have issues regarding the heart-shaped sticker that did not match anything whatsoever that was described by FBI Agent Fontaine as being dime-shaped. We've objected that. We did pretrial motions on that, and it caused speculation. And then, of course, the last thing, the prosecution trying to introduce the issue of remorse. You did, of course, sustain the objection, but the jury heard the question. So on those basis, and indeed, reminding you again of the motion and the consciousness of guilt argument, for what it is worth to you on that, the Florida Supreme Court ruled in Menace versus State that the behavior has to be susceptible of no prima facie explanation except consciousness of guilt. The state has not met that burden, and with respect to that, the post behavior of this defendant, the Menace court says it should not be admissible, and we're asking for a mistrial on that basis. Thank you very much.
Reply from the state of Florida.
Your Honor, as to the supervision video, there's no new arguments presented.
I want to hear where this goes for like 2 or 3 minutes before deciding whether we're going to move on or not. But feel free to let me know in the chat the answer to the poll I just threw up.
So I'll make no new response. As to the tattoo, at this point, the only evidence presented before this court as to the defendant's version of these events is that her daughter was alive and absent from her custody against her will. The fact of her obtaining a tattoo that says something which the court may eventually take judicial notice means the good life or the beautiful life is certainly inconsistent with the stated defense. Obviously, counsel's opening statement presenting an alternative version is not in evidence before the jury yet. The only version of the defendants we have so far is the various versions of the Zanny story. So I would submit that that is relevant. As to the question asked by counsel that was not answered, the defense asked the question, quote, is it customary in your business that people get tattoos to remember the loved ones that have passed? Clearly, we would submit that it was an appropriate question of the court to sustain the objection to ask about whether the demeanor of the person requesting a tattoo was consistent with someone asking for a tattoo because loved ones had passed. We don't believe that that was a question that went to the remorse issue. It was a question that went to a response to the defendant's question. The court sustained the objection. It wasn't answered. And I would submit that there's no grounds for mistrial in this case as to any of these grounds.
Motion for mistrial will be denied.
Okay.
Okay, I guess the only housekeeping matters we need to take up is the state is making a request for the court to take judicial notice. My suggestion is that the dictionary that you're going to use, that you get a copy of that page, cover, sheet, etc., to the defense so they can have an opportunity to examine it tonight. It would not hurt if you got me a copy of that also. We will do that. If the court takes judicial notice, then the court will give the meaning of that phrase. Then I take it at that point, the state of Florida will rest.
Yes, Your Honor. There are 2 items that have been marked for identification and identified, State's Exhibit IP and IQ, which we will be formally moving into evidence. These are 2 of the canned samples of the spare tire cover. They've been fully identified. I just realized we haven't actually formally moved them in, so we would be doing that. And aside from that, I believe we would be rested.
Okay. As we discussed earlier, I believe at sidebar, despite the efforts of the defense, they were originally told to be prepared on Thursday. They tried to move some witnesses up to Wednesday, but they could not do that. So then we will start out on Thursday with the defense's presentation. And I take it that after the state rests that the defense will be prepared to make its motion for a judgment of acquittal. Okay.
One suggestion I would make to lessen the inconvenience to the jury, we will commit to the court that the only things that we have left to do are the judicial notice and put those 2 cans into evidence. So we would suggest for the jury's comfort that we do the JOA argument tomorrow with the assumption that all the evidence is as we have seen. And then when we come in on Thursday, we will very quickly do those last bits, rest, and the defense can begin their case. If the court wants to bring them in for those couple of minutes in the morning, we can do that. But I thought for their convenience, it would be better to do it that other way.
Mr. Mason?
Prosecution needs to rest or not rest. I'm not going to make an argument until they rest.
We'll bring them in tomorrow then.
Okay. as I previously stated, they will, as I told them, they will be here in the morning. Now, this is food for thought for the defense. Since we will be working on Saturday, do you want to work any extended hours on Saturday? Or do you want to stop at 1 o'clock? Choice is up to you. And I have to make arrangements to feed them here.
Till Thursday, is that correct? Can we take them at their word on that? As opposed to having some surprise tomorrow when we only bring the information for the argument for the judgment of acquittal?
I think I need to answer that.
Yes, yes, they do.
Well, I think I made the announcement that the state will put on whatever they need to put on tomorrow, that you will rest, and that we will hear the motion for the directed verdict, and then the defense will make their presentation on Thursday. I thought that was what I said.
Sir.
I don't know what I'm going to do, Mr. Mason.
Council has cases that he is planning to rely on, that he provide those to us this evening, since we've provided ours to him 2 days ago.
Okay.
Since he will be
First thing in the morning. Now that you finish your stuff, I'll work tonight and I'll get it to you in the morning.
The law is the law, folks. I mean, the law and circumstantial evidence is the law. I mean, it's no great mystery.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need that. Thank you. So
Come to a stipulation in regard.
this is outside the presence of the jury the next day. And if my memory serves me correct, some crazy stuff goes on. So I would like to get this started. Whether or not we finish it today, I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and get started.
To that issue, if I may approach.
You may. Okay, Mr. Baez, is this true and correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
And Ms. Anthony, does this bear your signature, and do you concur with the stipulation that reads as follows? On July 2nd, 2008, Casey Anthony obtained a tattoo with the inscription, Bella Vita. This Italian phrase translates to beautiful life. The parties have agreed to this fact, and it should be considered as true in your deliberations.
Like and subscribe, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
I really appreciate that.
The other complicating matter is the state would move into evidence state exhibits I, which are here on the table. These were both samples of the spare tire cover taken into evidence and testified to by Michael Vincent.
Any additional objections from the defense?
Provided these are just being entered into evidence, this is not going to be going into the sniff test area.
These are just going into evidence. Any further use we might put them to, we would obviously proffer to the court for full argument before we would go into that. We're not doing that at this time.
Right. And if that's the full understanding of the court as well, then I don't believe we have any objections.
Okay. All right, then we can bring in the jury. You can introduce those final two items.
One last thing.
Turn your microphone on.
One last thing. There was inquiry from the jury about wanting to view whatever that item was. I can't remember, number 313, was it?
They viewed it yesterday.
Pardon?
They viewed 313 yesterday.
Yeah. And our concern was how the jury reached that consensus to make that inquiry unless they were discussing the case and they're not supposed to be. Now, like you just make inquiry, whatever you think is appropriate on that so we can move ahead.
I don't believe it's inappropriate for jurors to request to view an item or, as they have in the past, to notified the court that they can't see their monitors or any other matter. And I don't believe there's an whatever instruction counsel is suggesting I'd have to look at. I'm hard pressed to imagine an instruction that would be appropriate.
Yeah, rock on, girl.
Mr. Mason.
There being no requested instruction, Judge, then I would submit there's nothing for you to instruct them in.
Anything else from the defense?
No.
Okay. Then let's return to jury. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Did you heed my previous admonitions? Yes. Including but not limited, not discussing the case among yourselves or the other things I've admonished you about. Okay. State recognized presence of the jury?
Yes, sir.
And the defense?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right. State may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state and the defense have entered into a stipulation, and we would ask that the court read that stipulation.
Okay. Any objections from the defense?
Hello.
No, sir.
Good day.
Stipulation between the state of Florida and the defendant reads as follows. On July 2nd, 2008, Casey Anthony obtained a tattoo with the inscription Bella Vita. This Italian phrase translates to beautiful life. The parties have agreed to this fact, and it should be considered as true in your deliberations, bearing the signature Mr. Frank George, Assistant State Attorney, Mr. Jose Baez, Attorney for the defendant, and Ms. Casey Marie Anthony.
Your Honor, as a final housekeeping matter, the state of Florida would move into evidence states exhibits IP and IQ, which were previously identified by witness Michael Vincent as samples of the spare tire cover that were placed in metal cans.
What says the defense?
Subject to our previously mentioned limitations, yes.
All right, it will be received in evidence as states numbered. State may call their next witness.
Your Honor, at this point, the state of Florida would rest.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the state has now rested its case. May the attorneys approach the sidebar for a minute along with the court reporter.
Did you guys hear what I...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there are going to be some legal matters we're going to need to take up outside of your presence. That will be fairly lengthy. So we're going to recess and let you return back to your accommodations. We will reconvene tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. To continue the proceedings. Please remember all of my previous admonitions. Do not discuss this case among yourselves, nor with anyone else. Do not read,
Carolina.
watch, or listen to the news accounts of this particular case. Do not conduct any internet searches on this case. Do not engage in any social media, such as Twitter, Facebook, or any other forms of media.
The Twitch
Engaging in internet email contact
I'm so proud of yourself,
with individuals about this case. Any additional instructions on behalf of the state or the defense?
Nothing from the defense, sir.
Okay, members of the jury, you may be excused for the balance of the day. Okay, Mr. Baez, Mr. Mason, do you have a motion you would like to make? But prior to doing that, you handed the court some documents, a number of cases, and you also had a
Mr. Baez?
memorandum.
What you doing,
I
fool?
have not had a chance to read your memorandum other than a quick scan. The cases that you have cited, I am familiar with all of them except Barr, Kennedy, And if you would like, I would read those, or you can go straight into your argument without me reading those. What is your pleasure? The reason I suggest that is because the state did provide
No problem.
theirs.
Thank you, maybe.
I believe it was on Monday at the conclusion of business. And I did read the entire book that they presented, even though there were some cases I was familiar with. I did have an opportunity to review their cases. So what is the defense's pleasure? I have not seen those.
This was day 19. He doesn't understand the language.
And let you take under whatever advice you think necessary to meet cases.
Okay. All right, you may proceed.
It is well established in the jurisprudence of this country and in this state that at the close of the evidence by the state and or again at the end of all of the evidence that is presented, we are entitled to present an argument to the court seeking a judgment of acquittal. In Florida, it's codified in the Rules of Criminal Procedure 3.380. And the burden, as you well know, and I won't belabor that, is if the evidence is insufficient to warrant a conviction, then the court is supposed to step in and shall enter a judgment of acquittal. We know, and as I put in the memorandum, that if you view the evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution, and there are elements that are not proven or not been established beyond a reasonable doubt, then it is the court's obligation
I might have
to enter a judgment of acquittal as to the various charges affected. And for that principle, the Florida Supreme Court, in the case of Reynolds, REYNOLDS versus State, found at 934 Southern 2nd, 1128 in 2006, enunciated that rule. No surprise, not academically new to any and all of us. Most recently, the Florida Supreme Court, a couple of months ago, while affirming conviction and death sentence in the case of Serrano versus State, SERRANO, the only cite so far is 2011 WL904071. The Supreme Court in this case, which I know the judge knows that I'm intimately involved in this type of case, capital cases, murder cases,
Got it.
the Supreme Court reaffirmed that there is a special standard of review that is required. The court said, at page 1, citing another case, a Darling case, the motion for judgment of acquittal should be granted in a case based solely or wholly upon circumstantial evidence if the state fails to present evidence from which the jury could exclude every reasonable hypothesis except that of guilt. Where the only proof of guilt is circumstantial, no matter how strongly the evidence may suggest guilt, a conviction cannot be sustained unless the evidence is inconsistent with any reasonable hypothesis of innocence. The question of whether evidence fails to exclude all reasonable hypothesis of innocence is for the jury to determine where there is substantial competent evidence to support that, and the court will not reverse it. The Supreme Court has further stated in Cox v. State, 55 Southern 2nd 352, 1989, that one accused of a crime is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. It is the responsibility of the state to carry this burden. And when the state relies upon purely circumstantial evidence to convict an accused, we, the court, have always required that such evidence must not only be consistent with the defendant's guilt, but must also be inconsistent with any reasonable hypothesis of innocence. Our current rules and the circumstantial evidence instruction promulgated by the Supreme Court says as follows. Circumstantial evidence is legal evidence, and a crime may be proven by such evidence. A well-connected chain of circumstances is as conclusive in proving a crime as is positive or direct evidence. Its value is dependent upon its conclusive nature and tendency. Circumstantial evidence is governed by the following rules. 1, the circumstances themselves must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I'll digress momentarily and direct the court's memory to Dr. GRWM saying that she concluded that she would label this case as a homicide by indeterminate means, choosing the word homicide because in her view, the circumstances established that by preponderance of the evidence. That is directly contrary to the law. 2, the circumstances must be consistent with guilt and inconsistent with innocence. And 3, the circumstances must be of such a conclusive nature and tendency that you are convinced beyond a reasonable doubt of the defendant's guilt. If the circumstances are susceptible of 2 reasonable constructions, one indicating guilt, the other innocence, you must accept the construction indicating innocence. And that is the jury instruction, which if this case proceeds on to that level, then we'll be reading that to the jury, and that is the law in the state of Florida now applying as to whether a judgment of acquittal should be considered. The state, in presenting its evidence, I will suggest to you, has established in light most favorable to them that Miss Anthony has a history of untruthfulness among family members and friends. And
That's
apparently the untruthfulness and representation for whatever necessary reasons to her regarding the existence of a nanny began in 2006. They have established by stipulation that the child is dead. There is no evidence to establish when the child died, other than in a monthly window of possibility, where she died, how she died, who, if anyone, was with her in attendance when she died, and they have failed wholly to rebut the reasonable hypothesis of innocence, that is, that there was accidental death and inappropriate efforts by those unidentified as of yet.
Wrong on a few of those.
To cover up that accidental death.
Don't hate me. I still think she did it.
With respect to count 1, the first degree premeditated murder, the evidence fails to exclude a reasonable hypothesis of innocence.
Sorry.
That is, that there was no premeditation, even if there's a determination that there was a murder at all. When the element of premeditation is sought to be established by circumstantial evidence, the evidence relied upon by the state must be inconsistent with every other reasonable hypothesis. And I cite in the memorandum for the court the case of Smith versus State, 568, Southern 2nd, 965, First District Court of Appeal case in 1990. I'm going to talk about some of these cases after I get through the preliminaries. There has been, in this case, no evidence of premeditation presented to this jury or this court. There's a stacking of inferences, a stacking of speculation, but no evidence. The Smith case, Your Honor, is of particular interest, I suggest, also in this case, because of the nature of the facts involved. In Smith, the Tampa Bay police found the body of Judy Smith floating in the bay, the body having been wrapped in chains and a blue bedspread taped around it. Despite the fact that the lady was missing for some period of time, the husband defendant did not call the police and report it.
That's not Donald Smith, is it?
I'm sorry?
You said the Smith case. That's not Donald Smith versus State.
Donald Lewis Smith versus State.
First District Court of Appeals, 568 7th 2nd 965.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have it in the
yes.
fact I gave you there. The court ruled in this case that even though premeditation can be proven by circumstantial evidence,
well, who did it?
Where the element of premeditation is sought to be established by circumstantial evidence, the evidence relied upon by the state must be inconsistent with every other reasonable inference. And the court ruled in that case that, in fact, the conviction for first-degree murder had to be reversed, directing the court to reduce to second-degree murder because the state was unable to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the manner in which the homicide was committed if there was a homicide. In that particular case, there's no question of the fact that this woman died in that capacity, wrapped up in chains in a blanket and tape and in the water, drowned. There was no mistake. And that is a major similarity to the case that we have in the light most favorable to the state, except here, we don't have any cause of death. We have clear admissions from the experts that do not know the cause of death. And by the preponderance of the evidence, we have a speculation of Dr. GRWM that it was a homicide because she claims that 100% of people report things, some such thing.
He's brought up some
I'll ask you to
interesting
read that
points.
case further. It is interesting also that, you know, just digress again a little bit, in the Serrano case, the prosecution has submitted that case also, where a circumstantial evidence case tried and resulted in a conviction. What a world of different set of facts. Nelson Serrano was convicted of the execution-style shooting murder of 4 people. 3 prior business associates engaged in litigation and fighting over millions of dollars, in which he had been expelled from the office and a history of fight. One, that victim number 4, purely the epitome of wrong place, wrong time. The young woman came to pick up her husband. And of course, she got the notoriety in the appeal because she was a prosecuting attorney. But the fact of the matter is there was no question as to the cause and manner of death of the, I won't say their name because of the publicity, but the victims shot execution style on their knees. Blood spatter, ballistic, unequivocal statement of facts as to the death. The issue of circumstances, whether or not Mr. Nelson Serrano was the shooter, and it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and years, and to this point in the appellate courts and the Supreme Court, that is, so far regarding issues of alibi and so forth.
Do you want
But of course, as I said, the Serrano case reiterated the special test and a requirement in these type of cases that every reasonable hypothesis be excluded, or it cannot be a conviction. Another issue for the court to consider regarding count 1, the first degree murder, is whether or not, despite the indictment charging premeditated murder, that can be satisfied by proof of felony murder. Ms. Burdick handed me this morning the case of Brooks versus State, which we already had and rely on also. Florida Supreme Court 2005, BROOKS versus State 918, Southern 2nd 181. The merger doctrine. That is the law in this state as of this date. Indeed, the underlying alleged felony of aggravated child abuse is merged into count 1 as a matter of law, because if there's an act, there's a single act.
Okay, Peggy.
You may recall, and perhaps it did not ring loudly enough for the uninitiated, but the fact of the matter is, with every evidence that we could cross-examine and touch, no evidence of any prior trauma, injury, or act of violence whatsoever for this child. No heel fractures of any description, closed, open, or otherwise. No bone torquing, and so on. And the first 18 witnesses called, while they besmirched the character of the defendant with history of misrepresentations and lies, all confirmed that she, Casey Marie Anthony, was in fact a dedicated, doting, loving, caring mother, always saw them happy, always saw the great interaction between the two of them. And I'll talk about aggravated child abuse count in a minute. But clearly, the evidence before this court mandates accepting the merger doctrine of Brooks.
One question, Mr. Mason, about that. Are you familiar with the First District Court of Appeals decision in Lewis versus State, found at 34 Southern 3rd Edition?
I am.
183, 210.
Seeking to distinguish the merger doctrine of Brooks.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Which is
you got it.
Pending, where they claim that the Supreme Court's decision in Brooks was dicta, and they talk about the legislative intent, and it's been certified to the Florida Supreme Court. How would you square Lewis' interpretation of Brooks?
The same way you have for the last 6 weeks, the Florida Supreme Court says, and until they change, they're the boss on that issue, aren't they? And they say what they say, and Lewis is trying to undo it. Okay, nothing new about that. We've been saying that for decades and decades, but the law today is Brooks. Let me move ahead on the aggravated child abuse at count 2. And I have cited and provided to you the case of Kennedy versus State, found at 59 Southern 3rd, 376, 4th District Court of Appeal decision 2011.
You're okay, maybe.
Actually dated last month, May 4, 2011. The Kennedy Court said, and it's important to your consideration in this case as well,
Why are you pawing at me?
talking about the standard for aggravated child abuse. And it basically defines what it is. And it talks about the court making an error and not properly identifying what is meant by aggravated child abuse and reversing that case. Let me say this to you and read from the opinion. The complete definition that's required of the statute of maliciousness is where it comes down to. It may be established by circumstances from which one could conclude that a reasonable parent would not have engaged in the damaging acts toward the child for any valid reason, and that the primary purpose of the acts was to cause the victim unjustifiable pain or injury. And there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever for this court that if there was an act which the state alleges variously as I think I interpret perhaps chloroform and or duct tape, that evidence substantially subject to question and different interpretations, but nevertheless, all of the witnesses that knew and testified were asked about any history of torture, inappropriate discipline.
Let's go.
Any actions like that at all by the defendant against her little girl. In the absence of evidence proven beyond a reasonable doubt that the primary purpose of an act was not to cover up or not to conceal, but was to cause unjustifiable pain or injury, failing that, the charge of aggravated child abuse must be adjudicated not guilty in this case.
Oops.
As to count 3, aggravated manslaughter of a child. The state is required to prove beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt 3 elements. Kaylee Marie Anthony is dead, proven. The death of Kaylee Marie was caused by the intentional act or culpable negligence of Casey Anthony, not proven, and that Kaylee Marie was under 18. It's the age that shifts it to aggravated manslaughter rather than ordinary. It is our position, our argument to this court, that what has been presented to you and this jury is the mere presence of duct tape on or near the remains, which is not dispositive of any intentional act and furnishes nothing stronger than a suspicion. And I cite, of course, reference the case of Ballard, B-A-L-L-A-R-D versus State 923, Southern 2nd, at page 482. There has been no evidence presented as to culpable negligence on the part of the defendant, which is defined as a course of conduct showing reckless disregard for human life or for the safety of persons exposed to its dangerous effects.
Okay.
Or such an entire want of care as to raise a presumption of a conscious indifference to consequences, or which shows wantonness or recklessness or a grossly careless disregard for the safety and welfare of the public, or such an indifference to the rights of others as is equivalent to an intentional violation of such rights.
All right.
That's standard jury instruction 7.7 and Florida statute same 82.07. There has been no evidence whatsoever that could be considered at that standard of culpable negligence. And of course, there is no evidence whatsoever, none, as the causation of this child's death. Lawyering as to counts 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not going to belabor that. I suggest to you that, of course, you may not know this, but as of my last look, there's not a single appellate court case on this statute. It's first and only time it's ever been pulled out to be used somewhere. Okay? And I think it is constitutionally deficient because it doesn't even have a requirement of materiality. And we have materiality in every other similar type statute, perjury, false swearing, and so forth. Now,
But isn't that argument a little late in the day? Shouldn't that have been done?
I'm
Motion
sorry.
to dismiss.
Well, it
Isn't
was.
that argument a little late in the day?
I think there was a motion filed on this before I was involved in the case, but I'm just raising the issue to you.
But so, go ahead.
I'm raising that issue and saying that in addition to that, by way of argument, it's based on statements attributed to the defendant. And we filed pretrial motions to suppress, and hearings were held on various aspects of that. Was she in custody and entitled to Miranda, which was not done? Were statements obtained as a result of inappropriate agency in violation of various case law? We went through all that and you ruled on that. But there's another aspect of it.
Okay.
There is a standard jury instruction that I reasonably anticipate that you will give, and I don't have it committed to memory. But it's essentially this: ladies and gentlemen, statements attributable to the defendant have been introduced as evidence in this case. If you find that those statements were involuntarily made by the defendant, you must disregard them. And I submit to you, I don't know where we're going to get, we hadn't got to that part of it yet, but I'm going to be requesting the rest of that statute, of that standard instruction to include.
I'm so proud
reference to the evidence. The
able to
witnesses in the form of Detective Yuri Melich.
redirect again.
Can't remember, none of the others came in here yet. Or such that she clearly was never advised of her Miranda warning rights, despite having been surrounded by law enforcement officers on the 15th of July of 2008, put in the cage of Detective Acevedo's patrol car and driven around and questioned in various aspects, reiterating her positions that were contained in the motions to suppress. Coupled with that jury instruction, I suggest it may give you some food for thought. At least it's not quite as simple as it might appear as to those 4 misdemeanor counts of mine.
Okay, guys. I think that we have had enough of hearing him go on and on and on and on and on. I have somewhere that I am sending you guys, so don't jump off when I turn or end the stream. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much. This year, especially this last month, has been incredible to spend with all y'all and get to know you. And I am so extremely, like, times 1,000 excited to see what is in store for 2026. So, with that being said, I am going to send you on a fun adventure once this stream ends. I hope you enjoy it. And I am just super thankful for everything that you guys have done this last year. It's been tremendous, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys. With that being said, once again, make sure to turn on your notifications with me, because I'm not sure what the situation is tomorrow. I'm fairly certain I'm going live. Like, I'm fairly certain, but always turn on the notifications when you go to my page, my channel page. It's that little bell, and click on that and press all instead of personalized. Press all, and that way when I do go live, you'll get a notification that pops up on your phone. And they don't overdo it, I promise, with the notifications. What else? I do want to say thank you so very much to Maybe for modding this wonderful day, New Year's Eve, as well as this entire year, seems like. We appreciate you, Maybe, and all the mods. And I hope that whatever you do tonight, you do it safely. And I can't wait to speak to you in 2026. And it'll probably be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. So turn on the notifications, and all this video description also has a ton of information in it. For those of you who are interested in the makeup products, who are interested in creating your own StreamYard, and to know what's going on in the case. Anyways, with that being said, your support has meant the world to me. Yes, God willing. You guys have just been, you've blown my mind. So I feel exceptionally blessed this December 31st. And I'm hella stoked to see what comes next. So make sure, please, to like the stream. And if you aren't already subscribed, it's free. So why not? Okay, guys, have a wonderful evening. And I will talk to you tomorrow or the next day. All right. Bye, guys. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. Oh, yeah. Go Bucks. Go Buckeyes.